I tell you what, my mom is an inspirational woman. I can't explain how proud I am of all the work that she's produced and everything she has done in these past, not only 4 years, but the 18 years of my life. And this is how she became one of the most amazing role models I like to call my mom.
CB 301 ECC.
301.
Beginning tour investigations. My cat is 2191. My name is Anne Marie Hamill. Originally from Queens, New York, Maspeth to be exact. Moved here in 2002 to Palmyra, Virginia. Have lived here since then with my 3 children, Matthew, Justin, and Anthony. Can't forget Bruno and Lucy as well. Those are our 2 dogs. I like to think of myself as their mom, but
well, your mom and I, we go back a few years. She came to patrol after I've been working here for about 2 years and made a difference from day one. Great officer. She brought a lot to the table. Just a lot of experience from working with kids to being a mother. I mean, we were a bunch of young guys on the shift, and she definitely brought something else. But along with that, she brought some good times. She always brought donuts. It seemed like she brought donuts every week, so she was like a mother figure for all of us.
20 years ago, I was a young girl. Actually, it was more than 20 years now. It's probably about 25 years ago. I wanted to be a police officer with the NYPD. I took the test, did really well. Was going to get called to come in and interview and go through the process. And at the time, I was married to, I was dating a man who did not want me to do that job because it was dangerous. And we got engaged prior to me being called, so that never came to fruition.
So I have a lot of important responsibilities as the chief of police, but one of the greatest, and also one of the greatest parts of my job is to find people that will do this work and do it in a way that will not only make me proud, but will make this community proud as well. And those are people who not only have the tactical skills and abilities to do the job of a police officer, but have the heart. I've always told young police officers that the 2 greatest tools they bring to this job are their heart and their mind.
Happened to mention it to a friend of mine whose husband is a police officer, and we met them one day at a bowling alley, and he said to me, what's stopping you? You know, go ahead and take the test and put in an application. And sure enough, I did, and 3 years later, here I am.
I'm looking for the best police officer. I'm looking for that person that's had the experience on the street, that's answered a large volume of calls and handled themselves well. I reviewed their reports. I reviewed your mom's reports quite frequently, and she seemed to have a thorough grasp on what she was doing. Now, during the process, she stood out due to she's energetic. She loves her job. She really acted like she wanted to do this. So she was able to work through those scenario questions like a good police officer would. And really, a good detective is nothing but a seasoned, good police officer. She came very highly recommended by all her peers. Her supervisors loved her. They couldn't recommend her enough. And I think everything that she's accomplished was displayed in her interview.
I was on patrol for 2.5 years and did an interview to become an investigator. Worked really hard in patrol because it's not something that they just give you to come up here. It's a lot of hard work. You need to know a lot. I mean, I'm still learning. There's so many things. It's only my second week here, and there's just so many things that I will need to know to do this job to the best of my ability.
There came a point in the interview where the applicant's allowed to kind of tell their story about what makes them the right fit for this job in comparison to others. And I remember your mom telling me that she'd always wanted to be a police officer. And it was later in life, right? And she had never had the opportunity to do it because life kind of gets in the way of things sometimes. But she was at that point where she really felt like she could make a difference. And she was, believe it or not, competing with some pretty good candidates for a limited number of jobs. But what impressed me, what made her head and shoulders above all those other candidates, and as I recall, she was my number one pick in that array of others, was her heart, the fact that I believed her.
I'm Sergeant Jones of the City Police Department. Well, I was fortunate enough about 1.5 years, 2 years ago to Officer Hamill, now Detective Hamill, transferred to my shift from midnight shift. So what I really appreciated the most from Detective Hamill is that she was able to accomplish all these different multitaskings and just keep going from call to call. It was amazing. We have so many police officers that are just out of college or they've been to high school and been to community college, and they don't have a lot of life experiences. So it's hard for a 20-some-year-old to relate to adults. And because she has all those life experiences and she comes to the police agency at an older age, more mature, she has a lot to offer that others don't. So I think that's very advantageous to her.
But I have good people that I work with, have had that all through patrol, and people that really are willing to teach you and make sure that you know what you're doing, because this job is all about safety and all about protecting the people of the community, but also protecting yourself and making sure you go home to your family every night.